Today, I am joined by Tealium CEO, Jeff Lunsford. Jeff has led Team Tealium for 10 years, making this his 10th Digital Velocity Conference. He prefers when we talk about our customers and products, but I'm going to give you a little background on Jeff. He was a computer science major at Georgia Tech and then a U.S. naval officer and aviator prior to launching his career as a tech leader in 1994. He then went on to co-found and lead 8 successful tech companies, including Tealium. Jeff's core belief is that if we listen to our customers, listen to our partners, we can help them solve whatever challenges are holding back their businesses. Doing that, we at Tealium set out to build a lasting company that serves the ecosystem by removing complexity and reducing friction of collecting and managing your most valuable asset, your first-party data. It's an honor to be on Team Teal under Jeff's leadership. Jeff, the stage is yours.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, Lauren. I am delighted to be here. We could go to the next slide and talk about the history of digital velocity. Lauren, in reality, I've been to about 30 digital velocities because we did them in the US, Europe, and Asia. And we also used to do them in San Diego and in New York City. So maybe I've been to 35 or 40, I don't know. But these events are amazing. We love doing them in person. And newsflash, we're going to be back in person with you next year. But it is still even great to get together virtually. And as Lauren said, this event is being recorded. So if any friends or colleagues or anyone in your network missed it and you think this content would be valuable to them, please share it. We could go on to the next slide and talk about the history here. Tealium was funded as a software company 12 years ago. And our vision was to create a platform that would enable you, global enterprises, all the way down to forward-thinking, high-growth companies in the mid-market to delight and dazzle your customers with experiences that were fueled by real-time data. And we were always thinking that as software eats the world and you use more and more specialized software packages across the customer experience spectrum, that there would be an opportunity to collect more and more data in real time that would inform a customer identity profile in real time, which you could then distribute back out to all those systems in real time to create the best experience and achieve your business objectives. Because there's nothing better than intercepting a customer at the point in time when they have the highest propensity to buy, which in this mobile world tends to be now. And so as you think about Tealium, we want you to think about us as enabling you to collect and enrich and distribute that data across the enterprise, not just on web and mobile, but think about call center, think about branch, think about store. We have customers printing coupons in stores based off of Tealium profiles. We have customers launching retail ad networks based on Tealium profiles. So there's just so much exciting stuff happening. And if you go to the next slide, you'll see a very high level schematic of what we have built. Those of you that have known us for those 12 years know that, yes, we did start in tag management. And then we added mobile and server side APIs. And then we added the very first and only real-time global policy compliance CDP in the world in 2013, which was Audience Stream. And so we have been at this now for a decade, and we have solved the hard problems of scale. We're processing about 6 billion events on any given day here at Tealium around the world. And we are helping you collect that data, enrich those profiles, and distribute them out to points of activation or into your machine learning models, anywhere you want to send it back to your data warehouse, whether it's an older one like a Teradata or IBM DB2 or a brand new one like a Snowflake or a Databricks. And so we, Tealium, want to be that layer, that neutral layer that helps you connect everything without having to write code. So if you go to the next slide, the other thing that we knew was going to happen, it was obvious back in 2011 when we started writing code, was we believed that this data, this first-party data, which is your most, as Lauren said in my intro, your most valuable strategic asset, was going to grow more and more special, more and more sensitive, and starting with GDPR, but pretty rapidly going around the world. we have now seen what we call the Great Privacy Awakening. And so while it's fun to think about collecting all this data and doing great things with it and fueling these experiences, it's also maybe not so fun, but it's incredibly important to understand these regulations and to build software that will help you stay compliant with them, and to build the operational environment, the operating platform that will help you remain compliant, and to hire the people, the experts that read these policies and understand them and work with the auditors so that we can serve the regulated industries around the world, like banking and healthcare, where we have things like HIPAA compliance and OCC regulators. And so while it's not the sexiest part of what we do, it is incredibly, incredibly important. And in mid-April, we launched, if you can go on to the next slide, the new Tealium Consent Integrations Marketplace. And this is a proactive part of our strategy of helping you remain compliant and adhere to policies around the world, and partnered with great companies like OneTrust out of Atlanta, and Dodomi and Usercentrics. And this is just the beginning of Tealium's continued, what will be a continued march in helping you stay compliant. And we view Tealium as sort of this air traffic control for your data, this neutral layer that connects with everything. So it's a very important part of your compliance strategy from a technical architecture standpoint. It's a lot easier to administer policy and control data flows from this centralized layer than trying to administer policy in 20 different systems that might be part of your customer experience system. So we're investing heavily here with people, platform, and software and partners to focus on this area and help you remain compliant. And we're also, if you look on the next slide, investing in a lot of other areas of continued advancement and R&D. You'll hear some of this today, heard some yesterday, and we encourage you to engage in our quarterly business reviews with you and your teams to hear more about what's coming. But we're investing a lot in insights and activations, so new reporting, a lot in identity and governance. We have an identity marketplace and are adding fun things like user grouping for data workflow, adding things like entitlements, and always adding more and more integrations to our integration marketplace. Over the last couple of years, I think we've probably put over 400 global companies on the conversion APIs from Meta alone, not to mention the other big partners, the kind of hyperscalers like Google and AWS, where, when you add all those up, it's probably 80 to 90% of people's marketing spend. So investing heavily in integrations, and that helps you get better ROAS for your marketing spend, better targeting. It helps them have better businesses and takes the friction out of the space. And we're excited about all of it.